My general approach to examining the lower limb is to think of it as three levels of examination. There is the general examination, then which is mainly musculoskeletal, and then the cardiovascular and the neurovascular exams. You want to first of all just take a general look. And for this patient, you can see there are some swellings. It gives you an idea of what the diagnosis you're already dealing with. So you want to look at the color. All right. You will notice that there are color changes in this part where the inflammation is compared to this part, and you will notice that it's swollen on both sides. As part of your inspection, you want to look in between the toes, okay, looking for ulcerations or any form of discolorations, which may also suggest infections. So you open and then look. Look under the feet for color changes, especially in rheumatic diseases, for instance. You're also looking out for vasculitic changes on the skin. Importantly, it's to also look, just lift the leg and look under, because if the patient has been on bed for a while, it may have been developing bed sores, especially if it's not mobile. So you must look underneath the feet. So next, you want to feel for temperature changes. And because you have two limbs, you compare one with the other, and if both of them feel the same, then you compare with another part of the lower limb, right, which may not appear inflamed, so as to tell you whether there's differential warmth. So we know that this feet is inflamed, but this one is not. So you are looking for differential warmth. And for him, no significant difference. Then you also want to just look at the muscles to see if there's any form of wasting. In looking for muscle wasting, you want to take a landmark. Maybe just take the patella as your landmark, and let's say 8 cm from there. All right. And then you move it around. And just, thank you. Okay, so you do that. Yeah. So that's 47 cm. Sorry, just put that. So you look for the patella here again. As the patella. So you take that as a landmark. It's right. That's what we did before. You turn. Sorry. Do the same. Right. 47. So next you want to look for tenderness. Right. So first you need to ask him if there's any pain anywhere. Otherwise, you can cause him pain by yourself. Sir, are you having any pain? Where? Where's the pain? Just the knee. Okay, and the ankle. Okay. Okay. First, you observe that he does have synovitis, so there's inflammation, and so you expect that it to be painful. So you want to be careful. So since he mentioned that he has both on the big toes on both sides, so we avoid that first, right? Any pain here? Any pain there? Any pain there? There's some pain here? No. This one? Not painful. About now? No. Painful? Thank you. Yeah, that's painful. That's painful. Okay. So we notice that the MTP 2, 3, 4 were tender, but there was no tenderness on this side. What about the ankle? Any pain there? It's painful? It's tender. Painful? Not tender. Okay. Your knee? It's tender. It's tender. Okay. So also we want to look for active synovitis in the knee. Okay. So one of the methods to use just to check for fluctuancy, right? Okay, you feel that. You feel that. See this one is, it's not some vertice here, but you can see this one is all swollen. So you can also just push the fluid and see. Can you see on this side? You can see the bulge? Yes. So it tells you that there's fluid there. Okay, so if you do the same thing on this side, you see there's no bulge out there. So it means there's no fluid there. Then the next thing you want to do is range of motion. So can you raise this leg up here? Okay, can't go more than that. Okay, so you compare that with this one, right? So there's limitation on this joint. So can you raise your leg up? Yes, straight up. Just let this one lie down, then this one go up straight. So where are we testing? The hip, right? So there's a good range of motion. Can you do that? There's a difference, right? But it's not that the hip is, there's no pathology of the hip, but because of the pain on the knee, so he's having challenge doing that. So the other thing we would have loved to do is what we call Faber. Faber means flexion, abduction, external rotation. Okay. Can you do this here? Thank you. That's external rotation, right? Okay. But it's not likely to be able to flex this knee. Can you? Okay. If you touch it, it might be. Oh, that's good. So for the vascular aspect of the lower limb, so what you are looking for is for the blood supply. What artery are you looking for here? It's the dorsalis pedis. So you trace between the first and the second toe. Just trace it down. Okay, and then yes, and you can feel the pulsation. Okay, so the same thing on this side. So usually if the dorsalis pedis is pulsating and you can feel it, then it means that every other thing there should be. But the tibialis posterior is something you should just add to that. Okay. And both of them. It doesn't have a vascular problem, so we won't expect there'll be anything. But if you are going upward, you want to just, you feel for the popliteal artery, you feel on both sides. And you move up to the femoral. Sorry, sir. Yeah. And you feel on both sides.